everyone, Luke here with Guardian Fleet Safety. We got a 2017 Ford Interceptor utility here that we just completed. We nicknamed this one Charlie Brown here at the shop because it's like a just chocolate Hershey Brown. Haven't actually seen one of those before. So just a couple quick things that we did to this. We got our Weston push bumper on here. Again, as we like to say in all our videos, we really like this. They're really strong. They're on there. You know, almost feels like it's part of the extension of the actual bumper. They're not loose. Some of the other brands, you know, even if when you wrench them down super tight, they still squeak a little bit. They move around. Inside here on this light channel, we have two sound off signal N-Force series light heads, and these are the dual color ones. So these will come on with the takedowns too. They're obviously red, white, blue, white, and then when you hit the takedown button inside, these will go to takedown, as well as the takedowns will turn on the interior visor light there, which is a sound off signal N-Force interior light bar. And then of course we got our sound off signal headlight flasher, and then our siren speaker down here. We get some questions sometimes why the siren speaker. We always put on the bumper. Some agencies do ask that it be behind the grill. There's a couple kind of thoughts on it. Up here in the Midwest, during the winter, one of the biggest complaints is that if you're out in a blizzard type condition or something like that, the siren speaker can get clogged with snow and kind of obviously impair its ability to do its job. That is true. I've worked a number of blizzards out on the interstate, and I've had that same problem. The reality is, though, that the couple times a year that's going to happen doesn't necessarily outweigh the benefits of having out in front of the vehicle, where it can actually be heard. When you're putting it behind the bumper here, you know, you're getting those, as those sound waves are coming out of the speaker, they're bouncing off all that plastic and coming right back to you. It's a noticeable difference when you're running with the lights and sirens on. Having it out front, you can barely hear it in the cabin, which is good because you don't need to hear the siren, everybody else needs to hear the siren, versus having it behind the bumper where it's incredibly loud in the cabin for no reason. Also, if you smoke a deer or something, you can damage that speaker, but on the same token, if you smoke a deer, you can still damage the speaker down here, and it's a heck of a lot easier to bolt it on, bolt it off right here, doing a replacement than taking the entire push bumper off, taking the bumper cover off to replace the siren speaker, or heaven forbid it goes bad. I mean, that does happen, products do fail. You know, so that's one of the reasons that if at all possible and the customer doesn't really care, we'll always put it on the push bumper. So on the side here, we got nothing special. Same thing you see in a lot of our videos, just a dual colored Interceptor. It's going to come on with the alley light. Up there on the side of the push bumper, we have another N-Force head, dual color. That again is going to come on with the alley light. This is for a rural county out in western Minnesota, so they really didn't need and or want a lot of side lighting. So here in the back, we have our sound off signal taillight flasher. Again, just a good, cheap, effective way of getting some light out there. Don't waste your money on those LEDs that go in the tail lights. You can't even see them that well. These are brighter than those are, and this is only going to cost you 65 bucks versus $80 plus for each one of those other ones. Not worth it. We got some M-Powers here next to the next to the license plate light. Again, dual color. These will come on when they put the vehicle in reverse. These will override to white to give them that you know, some better backup lighting, because these factory backup lights aren't the best. That also helps out with the rear view camera kind of seeing back. And then up here in the back window, we have a 6-head sound off signal interior light stick, red, blue, and then obviously amber, and then that'll come on with the traffic director too. It'll override that red and blue pattern. So on this one here, we have our dome light here, and then up in here, we have a two-way switch here, so they can go to white, and then on the other side of the switch, it goes to red. Again, not real impressive during the daytime. At night, this is going to light this area up a lot better than the factory one that, as you know, we're not a huge fan of. And then up here, you can just see that we mounted the light stick to the hatch here. One of the reasons we did that is, you know, if this is going and the hatch is up, and you have the light stick here, you can get blinded by that. It's just really annoying, and you know, again, it's our preference, and based on our training experience, it's just not worth it getting blinded yourself while you're trying to get out stuff here. Most squad cars aren't sitting on the side of the road with the hatch up anyways. That's the argument that we've heard from some people, is having it here's in when the hatch is up to get this lights. Well, most guys are opening the hatch, grabbing something, getting out. So anyways, that's why I put it up there. I also got a radar antenna up there. So again, when this hatch is open, you got a nice clean area. You're not hitting your head. There's nothing blinding you while you're trying to get your medical bag. So one of the, I guess, things that sets Guardian Fleet Safety apart, and one of the things that we, really pride ourselves on, is our quality, and especially when it comes to the wiring. Anybody can strap on lights anywhere and make it look all right. We always tell our customers, pull the panels off, look under the carpet, open that console up, and see what it actually looks like. Because we've seen some cars that look all right, and then we start decommissioning them, and as you see on some of the photos we're putting up on Facebook, a train wreck. I mean, just absolutely disaster. And those are the kinds of things where, sure, that might work for 6 months or a year and a half, but 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, which a lot of these agencies are using these cars for, they're starting to have a ton of problems because everything was done sloppy and wires hanging everywhere, and it's just not good. So anyways, I know you guys, this is nothing you haven't seen before, but this is our wiring here. As you can see, everything's nice and neat and clean. We have our nice Blue Sea fuse panel here. Got our timer, and obviously our siren controller for the remote head that's up front. And again, it's serviceable, so if anything ever happens, you don't need to go digging through the vehicle to replace a fuse, or even just do some basic diagnostic testing. You can do that right here. We also have a master breaker here. So in the event that the vehicle needs to go into service, or let's say something's going on with the vehicle and they're trying to say, well, geez, it was probably Guardian, they did something wrong with the vehicle. No, we can pop that master breaker, kills all the power to everything that we've installed in this vehicle, and then the dealership's able to do their diagnostic testing without any interference, which is, it sounds kind of minor, but that is a big deal, because there are some agencies who spent a lot of money at the dealership trying to figure out where these problems are coming from, because the previous installer had 4 or 5 different power points that had to be disconnected to basically get it back to being OEM factory. Okay, so in the back here we got our custom cage, and again, what we really like about this is cages are really expensive, especially in these utilities, because you have to buy a front cage and a rear cage if you really want to do it right. So again, you're looking around $1,000, plus you got freight in there, so more like $1,100 just to get a cage set up here. These custom cages a lot cheaper than that, and again, it's single prisoner partition, so for these agencies that aren't hauling people all the time, and just, they need a cage, but they don't want to spend a ton of money on some elaborate system, this is really the best way to go. And again, we really like it. It's easy to install, so it saves you on labor, and it cuts out all the unnecessary crap that sometimes comes with those other ones. It's really basic. It doesn't have all the fancy panels and all these little pieces that fit up every little gap, but the reality is you really don't need that. That looks nice in a fancy catalog, but if you're looking for just a basic cage to get the job done, hands down, this is the best way to go. So inside the cabin here, we got a Premier Mounting Systems center console. Obviously, we have our magnetic mic for our main radio. Then they also have a mic here for the secondary radio. We got the Havas docking station for the CF19. Obviously, our 2 radios. And then we have our sound off signal energy 480 siren controller. This is the remote head one, as we showed you before. The brains are at the back. We threw in a license scanner here, so they can auto input that stuff into their CAD or ticket writing system. We also have an Armrest Printer here, which is really nice. Some people are putting the printers up here. They got these headrest ones. Not a huge fan of that. Some agencies are just buying basically a box and velcroing them to places. The armrest one is really the best way to go. I mean, I really can't reiterate that enough, because you're going to be buying an armrest anyways, so really to spend the extra $100 to get the printer in there, and it stays out of the way, it's movable, that's really the best way to go. So and then back here we just have 2 Santa Cruz dual gun locks with the universal mounts. We really like these because it's sometimes hard to tell. Everyone's got so much crap on their guns these days, lights and lasers and all these attachments and stuff, that's really hard to make a gun rack that's going to fit everything. So we always just go with the universal. It's basically just a big handcuff, and just takes care of that. And other than that, that's about all we have in the cabin to really show you here. Nothing special, just stalker radar, digital ally camera. Nothing you wouldn't see on any other kind of basic squad cars. So all right, folks, there you go. That's about all we got into this thing. This is just that takedown mode I was talking about. Might be flickering on your camera. That's just the LEDs. how they show up on the cameras. They're flashing so fast that the human eye can't see that, but the camera picks it up. So they're actually not twinkling. That's just how they are. So, you know, if you guys see stuff in our videos that you like, you know, if you have questions about anything, please don't hesitate to get a hold of us. One issue that we kind of see is people, you know, they see something on our videos they want, they kind of go out and order it themselves and then show up at our front door, kind of like, well, here, I got a box of this stuff. I ordered a couple of these because I saw your video and thought they were cool, and basically, you know, now make me a cool squad car. And it, you know, it doesn't always work like that. We don't necessarily care if you don't want to buy your equipment from us. I mean, you know, our prices are pretty cheap to begin with, so it's not like we're making a ton of money off that anyways. But the reality is that, you know, you really got to involve us. We're a big part of the puzzle in making this, you know, a cool squad car. We're doing all the work. If you just got to show up and don't involve us till the very end, it's hard for us to make all the pieces fit sometimes. You know, even a basic squad car like this, we have probably 15 different vendors that the equipment for all this comes from. So we got to connect all those pieces and make that work. And again, it's sometimes hard to do. We see that a lot with the factory options too. Departments are out there ordering these factory options for their squad cars that they don't need to order, and a lot of times are just totally wasting their money on these overpriced Ford options that we can do for next to nothing, or is already built into our price. You know, so again, if you guys have questions about stuff, or if you're thinking about using us, get us involved as early as possible so we can really get you the most bang for your buck, because we don't want to see you wasting your money on stuff you don't need. And again, we're all former law enforcement. We have no problem saying, hey, I know this looks cool, you know, I know you might want this, but in real world, this ain't gonna work for you. Don't waste your money, you know. And ultimately, the decision's up to you guys. It's your money, but you know, we're definitely offer our professional opinion on what works and what doesn't. So thanks again for watching. If you want to keep up to date on everything that's going on, you got to check out our Facebook. Subscribe, like us on Facebook. We're putting stuff up there on all the time, and that's really where it's easiest for us to get stuff up. If we see something crazy come into the shop or something cool, we'll snap a picture, throw it up there. That's really the best way to keep up to date on what we're doing. So thanks again for watching, and be safe out there.